Hey, I'm Danielle Bayard Jackson, a certified friendship coach. Yes, it is a thing. And when it comes to the joys, complexities, and misunderstandings around female friendship, I am here to help you through it. You hate the fact that you're keeping score, but you just can't help yourself. And I can't blame you. It's actually one of the top complaints. I feel like I'm initiating more than my friends. And what do we do when that happens? It's frustrating, it's disappointing, and we can't help but to interpret that as we care more about the friendship than our friends. But the reality is, it's not as bad as it seems. There are actually 3 things that you can do whenever you feel like you're the giver in a friendship. One has to do with the change of mindset, another with the change of attitude, and finally, one action that you can take whenever you find yourself feeling a little angsty. The first thing to do is to try your best to focus on the reception, not the initiative. So let's say you're the person who's always reaching out, always texting, always proposing a hangout, and you feel like your friends never match your energy. Well, try instead to focus on the people who say yes. And I actually got this tip from friendship expert Shasta Nelson. She encourages us to find the people who are likely to say, heck yeah, let's go for coffee, or oh yeah, I'll be there at 8. The people who are eager to get your invitation, that's where we should focus our energy, instead of being discouraged by the fact that we were the ones to say it first. Now, for those people who tend to be busy or who don't respond or they cancel last minute whenever you take initiative, that's something you want to pay attention to. That could be an indicator that that particular person is not as engaged, invested, or simply doesn't have the capacity to reciprocate in the same way. And that's okay. If anything, try seeing that as data. That information lets you know where you should be prioritizing your time and pouring your energy. So, at the end of the day, it's less about who's asking, and it's more about who's saying yes. The second thing you can do whenever you feel like you're the one who's always initiating in a friendship is to give them the opportunity to initiate. So sometimes we're not aware that we've become subconsciously dependent on another friend to set the tone, to take the lead. And sometimes it's just the natural ecosystem that we built for our friendship. So if one adopts the role of leader and the other kind of follows, then is it fair to expect them to suddenly step up? We have to extend the opportunity. So that might look like this. You say to a friend after hanging out, oh, this was fun, but you know what? I feel like I'm always picking the spots and I'm always saying where we should go and when we should meet. I know you have a brunch spot that you've been like eyeing. So how about you tell me where you want to meet up next week and we'll try something new. It doesn't sound accusatory. It doesn't have you in a position where you're saying, hey, I feel like I'm always starting things and you never start things, which of course naturally would make anybody feel defensive, shut down, and unwilling to participate in these activities together. And so as much as you can give them an opportunity to say, I want to hear your voice, I want to hang out at a time that's suitable for you, I want this to be compatible to your needs, the more that you can do that, the better, if only you would give them a chance. I remember once having a friend a few years after college, and I found that I was in the position where I was always saying, let's hang out on Friday. What do you want to do next week? And I noticed that she wasn't doing the same thing. And it did get frustrating, and I found myself making interpretations of that distance. I thought, well, maybe she's not as interested. She doesn't care as much. Does she prioritize the friendship? Am I being clingy? Am I being pushy? I had so many questions, and honestly, it got kind of frustrating. So eventually it came out and manifested itself as resentment. So on one particular night, I texted her in a very snippy way and I said, hey, do you want to come up with something? Because I'm always suggesting where we should go. Maybe you can have a try. Very condescending, not my best moment, but God's growing me. And so she says to me, oh, I'm sorry. It's just that you always pick all the cool places. You know all the best spots. I don't know anywhere. I don't have any suggestions. And it was there I found myself humbled because instead of taking an attitude of curiosity, where I asked her, are these days and times suitable for you? Or what would you like to do? I was speaking to an insecurity of her feeling like she couldn't plan an evening that would live up to the kind that I was planning. But instead of asking, I accused, and it didn't work out very well for me. So sometimes we make our own interpretations of our friend's lack of initiative instead of asking questions and trying to figure out what that's about. If you are the relatively dominant friend in your relationship, it might help to give others the space to make suggestions too. The final thing that you can do is try to reframe the way you see her contributions to the friendship. So a lot of times we'll see the fact that we're initiating as us caring, as us putting in effort, but we don't acknowledge the things that our friend's doing to pour into the friendship the same way. Is she a good gift giver? Does she listen? Does she always show up when you're throwing parties for your kids? Does she tag you and post on Instagram that make her think of you? At some point, we have to let all of her efforts count the same. At some point, we have to try to step away from focusing on all the things that we do and give credit and acknowledgement to the ways that our friends are contributing to the friendship as well. At the end of the day, if it is something that really does get under your skin, you do have to find a compassionate and gentle way to let her know. Otherwise, it will manifest itself as ghosting her or becoming resentful. Now, for the tough love truth. There's one last thing I want you to consider if you find that you are the one who's frequently reaching out to your friends and they don't match your efforts. I want you to think objectively about their experience when they're with you. I know, but just for a moment, what is it like for them when you two come together? Do you dominate the conversation? Are you negative? Do you emotionally dump on your friends? Are you doing things that always require spending money, but for them, maybe it's out of budget? We too often play the main character in our lives, centering our own experiences. But to get more clarity around the situation, it helps to look at things from the perspective of somebody in the supporting role. Is it possible that your friend would reach out more if the experience of being together was in line with what they're looking for? And I don't say this to discourage you. If anything, it should encourage you to have conversations, ask questions. Are you typically suggesting hangouts at night, but they'd like to do coffee chats in the morning? If anything, adopt an attitude of curiosity to get more of a sense of what your friends are looking for whenever you guys come together. Overall, the goal is to keep giving, keep communicating, and to train yourself to see the ways that your friends do contribute to the friendship. Once you train yourself to see the ways that your friends enrich the friendship, then you'll feel less of an imbalance. Hey, thanks for watching today's video. If you're looking for more support on your journey toward better female friendships, then you should consider becoming a Friend Forward member, a space where we have virtual events, coaching exercises, and an opportunity to connect with women just like you.